Right then, welcome back to the channel. Now, before I get into five things, and I will talk about the match, I need to address what I said last night because it'd be feeling really, really weird if I didn't and I just ignored it. And that's not what I'm about. I was being honest with you guys last night, and maybe a little bit too honest, a little bit. But that's why I have a channel. I speak from the heart and I tell you how I'm feeling, and I tell you how I feel about the game, and you know, on other stuff, I tell you how I'm feeling about life, um, and how I felt last night in the moment. I'm not going to just sit here and pretend that I don't feel any different today, um, or pretend that I do feel any different today, actually, because I don't. The truth is, covering United and talking about United, um, it's been tough for a while. And I'm not someone that just loses my mind. I'm not someone that's gonna just try and come up with fucking stupid catchphrases. And I don't necessarily consider what I do entertainment, even though I recognize it probably comes under that. And I know I'm not alone in feeling that this way. I think people who honestly care about the club struggle at times when it's like this. It's very easy when you're winning things. Of course it is. Now, a lot of you left comments last night, and a lot of you were right. As it stands, I've built a career out of covering Manchester United, and it's not lost on me that a lot of people have made this channel part of their match day routine in terms of like the audience who tune in, but also people depend on it as part of their livelihood. The people behind the scenes that help make these videos happen. Now, I don't really want to stop, and I actually can't stop. There's too many people that depend on it, including myself. If I just stopped, like, this is my job, so I do need to find a way to get through this without it completely burning me out entirely, because it's getting to the point where it feels like that. And I won't get into the financials, but again, I'll be honest and be real with you. There are some quite performative fan channels, some channels that do better off their club being horrendous. It become part of the culture and a meme for a while. Now, United being bad actually doesn't help me, and the evidence for that exists on this channel. Just go and click on the videos and have a look. When the team is bad, people tune out because I try and do quite level-headed analysis. Now, I'm not saying I nail that every single time. I obviously don't. I'm human, and I'm a bloke, and I occasionally see my ass. But by and large, my audience is a quite mature audience. The biggest demographic of my audience is 35 to 45. So you guys are literally like me. When we lose, you tune out. You can't be asked. When we're good, you can't get enough of it. And that's what this channel is about. And I like that that's what this channel is about. I like that it's for United fans. And that my audience is majorly United fans. The problem is, when United are bad, it's a double whammy. The videos are painful to make, they're painful to watch, and it makes the job harder and like less rewarding. Now, I don't want to stop making videos, but I do need to find a way to do them that doesn't make me hate football, doesn't make me hate the club, doesn't make me hate the players. Because, being real with yourselves, I fucking love football. I spend so much of my time dealing with football, coaching. You know, I spend hours and hours and hours consuming football. I read constantly about football. I talk constantly about football. And I love Manchester United. I'm indoctrinated since I was a child. And I love making content. And I love having the conversations with people. I love, you know, hitting out on the tours and hanging out with people and seeing people's different experiences of supporting the club. Right now, I'm finding it hard to do that. It's just where I'm at. Like I said, I kind of had to mention it because it'd be really weird if I just was like, "Oh yeah, welcome back to Five Things." So I want to take a break. I can't take a break, but I do need to figure out how to continue covering this fucking club without losing my mind. So I'm gonna ask for your help, and I'm gonna say, what sort of content would you like me to make right now? Any ideas? Would you like me to maybe speak to some coaches? Would you like me to re-up the podcast? Would you like me to focus more on some of the IRL stuff? Should I focus more on the social stuff? There's a series of books called Changing the Conversation, which is ironically kind of what I want to do right now, which are just little one-page essays. I'd like to maybe push through and share them with you guys. Maybe it's a social video, maybe it's a reel rather than a YouTube video. But it might underscore a little bit of where my sort of understanding of football comes from, because I think they're fascinating studies. It's a little bit of the stuff like Brentford are getting a lot of credit for at the moment. By the way, I spent about 2 hours last night trying to search for and finding some of those research papers that Brentford have done. You've probably seen it reported everywhere that Brentford have spent 13 million on PhD students, getting them to do this, that, and the other. Well, PhDs have to be published. I found a few of them last night. There was 37 different papers. Not all of them were entirely Brentford orientated. Obviously, when you're coming up with a search, anything with a Brentford kind of name kind of came up. But there were some of them that were absolutely done as part of what Brentford have been doing. So I'm going to read them. I haven't read them yet. I only found them last night. And I might make some content about those, because that sort of shit, learning, cutting edge stuff like that, that fires me up a little bit. So maybe I switch. Maybe I mean, the lads in here wanted me to talk about Jamie Carragher's opinions on AFCON. I don't know if there's a video in that or if it's just I don't agree with him. But yeah, maybe you guys giving me some suggestions, or even just questions, straight up questions. Maybe we do that as a way for me to find a way to enjoy doing this again. So that being said, near enough 7 minutes into this, should we talk about the game? Because I know no matter how I feel about the state of things, I actually think for a lot of you guys, I know that these videos are part of your match day experience, and I do appreciate every single one of you that tunes in, even if I tell you to fuck off every now and then. But you're used to that by now, I guess, aren't you? So let's start with Dorgu. I thought it was a bit of a mixed bag with Dorgu. The mix-up with Onana, he's got to take a little bit of blame for that, I think. And as does Onana, and Onana probably takes the lion's share of that, with him being the senior player and the goalkeeper that can see what's going on. I expect the goalkeeper to tell everyone what's going on around him there. And then it was a reckless tackle on Hutchinson, and he got sent off. I still don't 100% know if that's a red card. Now, a lot of people are saying it's a real obvious red card. Well, okay, if you think it's an obvious red card, you tell me by the rules what it is. It was a clumsy tackle. There was no intent. The studs weren't up, in my opinion. He's gone in with his toe, and it's kind of been lifted by the contact. I don't think he's gone in studs up with the intent to hurt him. I think how quick Hutchinson got his leg back across is what made it bad. It was just the timing of it. I think a yellow would have been absolutely fine. I mean, McKenna's right there and doesn't react. What does that tell you? It was a 50-50. Now, when they slow them down, everything looks horrendous in slow-mo, but in real time, it didn't look that bad. Now, when you see so many tackles coming in like that, him being banned now for a few games is an absolute pain in the arse, but there is some potential, not just in him, but the way he helps United play is a little bit more beneficial, I think, as well. He's shown himself to be pretty good defensively. He's good in his 1v1s. The athleticism is absolutely needed in the team. And I don't think his crossing's been great, but he does look to put the crosses in there. He can get the delivery and the timing right, but I also don't think he's helped out by the movement of the forwards, because it's not good. I would say, on a balance of that performance, he's going to be a miss for us. But, you know, maybe a little bit of time on the training ground probably do him a little bit of good, I reckon. Number 2, defenders. So the 3 centre-halves had a fairly decent game, I think it would be safe to say. Euro had a real good performance. Maguire and Delay obviously getting on the score sheet. Handled the lap really well. It was 2 goalkeeper errors, I think, that cost us. And we defended really well with 10 men. It was nice to see United actually work into what was, I thought, a quite obvious game plan of how we were trying to work it with 10 men. It was nice to see. But you can't get too carried away about beating a team that's probably getting relegated at home. You should be beating those teams, even with 10 men. I didn't have the confidence, obviously, going behind, and then when they equalised with 10 men, you're like, really see how this is going to pan out, but obviously it did. Number 3, Hojlund. Again, this is what's draining me, man. How many times did I learn this last night? No. But it feels like he needs some time out of the team. How do you get him time out of the team? I have no idea. He's 17 games without a goal. His general play is anonymous. You can talk about not creating chances for him, and we don't, right? But your main job as a striker is to score goals, but you also have to contribute to what's going on with and without the ball. The football in 2025 requires all 11 players. Unless you're doing what Mo Salah's doing and just shitting goals and assists, you are required to dig in for the team. And when you haven't scored in 17 games, I don't want to see you walk at any point on that pitch. I want to see you lifting people. I want to see you lifting the crowd. I want to see you pressing. I want to see you going into tackles like it's the last fucking tackle you'll ever make. His general play is awful. He doesn't seem to be making any adjustments to his game or adapting. At what point, after 17 games, do you just think, this is going fucking sound? Centre-backs get a night off when they play against him. I think in a better team, he'd find himself out on loan, let alone on the bench. Work rate. Down in tools and players don't care seems to be quite a common phrase and buzzword that you hear about United players from fans. So I think it's safe, or the right thing to do even, to credit them when they'd show the opposite. Several players emptied the tank last night when we got down to 10 men to get that result over the line. I still think the quality is lacking from him, but Xerxes ran himself into the ground. So did Bruno, so did Ugarte. The lads stuck together to grind the result out, and I think it's worth recognising when they do that. Yes, Manchester United have to be better. Yes, Manchester United should have higher standards than that. But we're 15th in the table. You got to take some of the positives at the moment, and that, you know, to be fair, was a positive. And number 5, Garnacho. So Garnacho was sacrificed after the Dorgu red and went straight down the tunnel. Cryptic bullshit Instagram post after the game again. Amorim not happy. Amorim said he's going to speak to him. What's the fallout of this going to be? He's not good enough for the fucking ego that he displays by half. Decision making is horrendous from him. I don't think he suits how we want to play. I don't think he would be starting games if we were a fully functioning squad. I think he's so far off what a Manchester United player should be. And he's not on his own. There's a lot of players here that are just so far off being what a Manchester United player should be. I think if any offer came in for him in the summer, I'd be cashing in, because I just don't see the hype with him whatsoever. And yes, he's young. There's a lot of young players, but there's a lot of young players that have got better traits about them and better abilities in a match. I don't think he can go past people. I don't think he's blisteringly quick. I don't think he plays for the team. I don't think he's got good decision making. I think that's a real understatement. I think his decision making's up there with some of the worst I've ever seen consistently. And it has got a little bit better under Amorim, but it's still, there's a low bar, and we're sort of praising him for basic stuff that everyone should be able to do. Doesn't really win his duels. He's not worth the hassle. It's more hassle and hype than genuine good performances from him. So, yeah, I would cut my losses with him. But anyway, I know I've gone through a lot there. Not all of it Manchester United related. But give us your thoughts in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.